Morning YouTube, it's Bill from Little White Dory, and today I have to say goodbye to a piece of my, I don't know what I would call it, my hobby, um, in order to fund things like, I don't know, tractors and fencing and whatnot. It's time to sell the sailboat. So as much as it's sort of a bittersweet end, I hope that I can know that the person who's buying this will get years of enjoyment out of it like I did. But this is what's called a catboat. And it's kind of a unique sort of a boat in that you can see that there's a mast that's on what they call a tabernacle or a hinge in the front, very up far in the front, in the nose, in the bow, and a very large boom and a very large sail for the size boat. The actual boat itself is a 19-foot boat, and she's extremely, well, if I look at her from this angle, you can see she's kind of a wide, blunt-nosed boat. It's called a displacement hull. It's not a planing hull like a faster sloop would be. This boat just goes a certain speed and hits that speed, and that's about it. She won't go faster and more wind. But she's got a lot of space in the cockpit. There's a cabin, and it's a very easy boat to sail, providing you have a little bit of wind. And unlike most sailboats, I'm going to step back here, you'll see that there's no major keel on it. It does have what they call a centerboard that's retractable, but this part here behind it in front of the prop is called a skeg, and that's really all you need for a keel to keep her pointing the direction you want. And I'm gonna miss her. I've had her for about, I guess it's about 18 years, and it took me a while to find a seller, to find a buyer, but I'll tell you the brand here is called a Menger cat. And it's called a catboat for some God knows reason. Nobody can really tell me the exact reason. Some people speculate it's that these porthole windows are shaped like a cat's eye. Some people say it's because it's a nimble boat, like a cat can flip around and do its thing. But it's going bye-bye. And let's see, we got some stuff done out in the garden. It's been a little while since I've done an update. We had some really crazy thunderstorms this morning, and looks like the roof on the chicken coop held up. We've had a nor'easter with, they were saying, 50-mile-an-hour winds, and the roof held up just fine. Put the plexiglass up for the winter so that the girls have a place that they can get out of the wind and enjoy the sun. The last of the roses are just kind of hanging in there. They're actually very pretty. And they're climbing up along the side here just to give me a little bit of color and I don't know, doctor up the chicken coop a little bit. Hello ladies, you ready to come out? So I got the double latch here and here, and then I swing this open, grab this string, and everything pulls, keeps open. So far it's proven to be a pretty good system that nobody showed it to me. I just kind of, I don't know, it just seemed like a logical thing. A couple of twists around that cleat, and we're good to go. Boy, they ran out of here pretty quick. Not going anywhere though, because you're thinking you're getting some goodies, and I haven't been giving you goodies because you guys have been trained to go in and think you're going to get goodies. So I haven't had to. So we're putting up some covers over the 3 gardens in the back. I put up some new fencing over here, just to make it more of a permanent fencing. It's still very temporary, or you know, you can move it. But the zip ties are there just to hold things in place while I'm working, getting this lined up. Hello little chickens. And we got a gate here that, it looks a little cockeyed right now, but I don't know, we'll have to figure it out. Problem is that the baby chicks were going under here and pulling out my styrofoam insulation and eating it. Probably pooped out a couple of floaters because of it. Here we go. So the black Asians all know that there's some good food in there, stuff that they're kind of accustomed to eating. They'll eat the adult food, but they just assume have the baby food. So what do you think, girls? Time to come out and play? Hey, how are you? How are you there? Let's see, that's Cleopatra. Yeah, Cleopatra wants to get in there and get a nibble. Alrighty. Alright, you know what's going to happen, little girls? As soon as you get in here, and get out here rather, the big girls are going to go after you. So it's time to come out and run. Let the craziness begin. Boy, you really want to get in there, don't you, Cleopatra? You know there's something good in there. You ready? Run! 2, 3, 4. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Hoot. Hoot did something. She learned a new trick. She's learning how to fly. She flew up to the top of the 4-foot fence over by the grapevines and was just checking out the scenery. I'm a little nervous that she's going to wind up learning how to fly and we'll have to clip her wings. What's the matter? You don't want to come out? As soon as the big girls go in there, you know you're going to come right out. Yeah, you like that little spot there now. I had to dig a little in the corner, and of course, as soon as there's a little loose dirt, they want to know all about it. Let's see. There we go. Told you. That little one there is Hoot. Hoot's different, not like all the others. What do you want from a chicken with green feet, right? And, hey, what are you guys doing over here? It's like a free-for-all. Huh? They're just having a blast. I guess I guess some of them got through that. Okay. So the idea is I have this little temporary fence. I'm going to move the other fence gate over to here and have a little better gate. But, whoops. Alrighty, girls. Come on in. Let's go. And so this is how the big girls meet the little girls each day. There's a little bit of running around and chasing each other. The energy clearly has to be burned off from being inside overnight. Anyway, so here's my my setup on the I'm going to call it low tunnel or ground cover, I don't know. We definitely have some stuff growing in here, and I don't know what's going to become of it. It's an attempt, but I'll put the plastic over it today. It's only 54 or 55 degrees, or I should say it's that high. It's not that cold out today. The wind has been pushing up from the south, so we got a lot of rain, thunderstorms, and warm temperature and wind, which will make covering it kind of tricky. Still have marigolds blooming and doing their thing. There's some white roses back there we planted by the bottom of the birdhouse. And you know, I'm looking into, I have these grapevines running along here that worked out really, really good this summer for some shade. I think I'm going to try to train this one to grow that direction a little bit. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But I got to learn how to trim them. There's 4 grape plants or grapevines growing. So everything's looking good here. I'm kind of actually happy with the way the garden's looking. The way that the wood chips are breaking down and turning to mulch. There's no weeds growing in this. Really none all summer long. It worked out very well. I shouldn't say that. As I say that, I see one, not really a weed, but something a little more substantial trying to get growing over there. Our compost is looking amazing. It keeps settling down. I keep piling it up. When I pile it up, it comes up, and then a few weeks later it comes back down. Over here is stuff that was originally laid out in here, which maybe you remember from a few weeks ago. I put my grass clippings in here. I think I'll get another grass cutting out of the season. And I just dump it here so that it gets all funky. The girls scratch through it, they poop in it, and then I'll rake this up and I'll put it into one of the 2 bins over here. I'll probably put it in this bin because that was brown. The next thing should be green. And you can see the branches in the back over here are starting to deteriorate and settle. And I'll pull them out and throw them on top one of the bins eventually. But I'm really happy about this little composting situation. We got the space for it. Doesn't hurt anything. Alrighty folks, it's a pretty happy day on the homestead here. Gonna let the chickens do chicken things, and time for me to finish up my fencing and get a few things done. Got to get the boat prepped for a transporter to come pick it up and haul it up to Massachusetts. Find it amazing that somebody's buying my boat from Massachusetts and hasn't seen it, other than pictures and videos. But hopefully it'll all go well today. Yeah, you see, the big girls like the baby girl food, which is a little higher in protein but lower in calcium. Only the white leghorn on the right there, Zippy, is actually laying eggs, so hopefully it won't affect her too much. And I don't know what the story is on the others. I guess they're just getting old, or maybe they're going through a molt. Not sure. And then there's the beasts. Go ahead, see what you do. You guys are bullies to the babies, but you're chicken of the big girls. So now where'd the little girls go? They've been heading through here to the back. They must be back there somewhere. Alrighty folks, as we get to hear the sounds of Southwest Airlines going overhead constantly. And if that's not making noise, you can be sure the Long Island Railroad will be making noise. And if the railroad and the overhead Southwest Airlines aren't making noise, you can be sure it'll be some fire engine, policeman, ambulance. Or last night, and this is kind of hard to understand, but we have a catering facility at a mansion that was built by a person named Frederick Bourne. Frederick Bourne was the business partner for the Singer Sewing Machine Company. He's the guy that knew how to make a business work. Singer was the guy that knew how to make the sewing machine work. And so Frederick Bourne's estate, which was previously owned by the Catholic Church for a all-boys military prep school. Hey, play nice. It was recently sold to an Indian university called Amity Education. The name doesn't make sense to me if it's an Indian university, but they have weddings there, and last night at about 9:30 I'll say, they let off a rip of fireworks that made you think the world was coming to an end. I can't even imagine what wartime it sounds like in a place where they're, experiencing war and unsettled times. But it was absolutely ridiculous. They don't let us know in advance. I was in bed by 9 o'clock, sound asleep, and next thing I know, I'm woke up by the sound of World War III. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff around here. We have a bunch of mansions all along the south shore of Long Island. They were all turned into colleges and museums and parks and stuff like that, because nobody can afford the taxes if they want to have it private. And alrighty folks, 13 minutes of babble. We'll talk to you again sometime soon. Hopefully next time I speak to you, the boat's gone. My plastic is covering the beds. I actually have pipes to bend, the same one as the one over there, to make this a little covered garden too. Alright folks, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.